Hello everyone, I'm RecV5,
And I am Sandman99.
and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas with Joe Smurd.
Yes, and a few things have happened since our last episode. And we've been still chasing down all of the various things that we've had to find here in the Big Empty.
Indeed.
And one of the things is that I discovered this item a while back.
Oh yeah.
I really wasn't too sure what it was, but it's this atomic valence tri-radii oscillator, which is what's making those weird blue lines around Joe Smurd's head.
Yep.
And apparently it gives you a little bit of armor protection, and it also gives you a little bit of health regeneration and a buff to endurance.
Nice.
If my endurance wasn't already 10 anyway.
Does it buff your endurance past 10?
I doubt it, because I don't think without some kind of
Yep.
without some kind of mod, probably you probably can't get your
gets capped at 10.
Yeah. And another thing is, you'll notice in this window where it says XP, it says max. So at level 50, I think I have basically reached the level cap in this game.
Okay.
So I don't think I can actually gain any more levels no matter what I do.
Well, I guess you're never going to get that medical skill up.
Nope, never will. And another thing I did is I actually installed a mod because I didn't really like the way the stealth suit looked. You know, with those bright white stripes all over it and stuff like that. It didn't feel very stealthy, really. So I found a texture replacer in the Nexus to redo the stealth suit, right?
So that it feels more stealthy?
Well, it doesn't. Don't you think it looks more stealthy? And if you look at it too, it's like a high-res type thing, right? Like you can see the grain in the material and and stuff like that, right? Like it's actually pretty nice. And it fits better too. It's not like baggy like the vanilla one is, right? And I also did a weapons change around a bit. So I've got Elijah's advanced lair still, but I still got the medicine stick, but I've got this thing called a multi-class rifle. Okay, which is what I'm going to try out here. And it looks like it's a 3-beam shotgun energy weapon, maybe?
Yep.
But we'll try that out. Anyway, it uses microfusion cells, just like the lair and the Gauss rifle. I basically exchanged the Gauss rifle for this.
Right, because the Gauss rifle's kind of heavy.
Yeah, well, and it was also a slow fire rate and all that kind of stuff. This thing does a fair amount of damage.
Speaking of which, did you get your crafting done off screen?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
So I figured out, well, actually, in the middle of this thing here, Mr. Butler Voice is actually a merchant too, right?
Yep.
And he sells these things called, what were they called now? Ammunition crafting packs or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So they literally come with all of the primers and the powder and the casings, and
you don't have to scrounge it yourself.
Yeah, well, the only thing I had to do is I had to break down some types of ammunition that I'm not using for the lead.
Right.
But yes, I was able to now make more ammunition for my my medicine stick. So you know, I've got 110 45 70s there.
Nice.
And I traded in the lever action shotgun as well. I kept the riot shotgun.
Right.
And because I've got, you know, lots of ammunition for that already. And we also have the sonic emitter, and I tried different fittings because I can try a whole bunch of different fittings at the jukebox for this thing.
Yep.
And all they are is just special effects. You can't improve the fire rate or the damage on this thing.
Do they do, so they're just like maybe they hit something and they do something different?
They do something different, right? Like there's, we can have a look here at the jukebox if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so basically you You talk to the jukebox.
What's the haps?
And you go, I'd like to recalibrate
Right
the
on,
sonic
baby.
emitter.
Let's spin some grooves.
Okay. And so we have to, basically the sonic emitter is called Revelation right now. That's the
Yep.
the calibration that I have. And then there's all these different calibrations, right?
Right, right. So last time it was Tarantula, and this time
Yeah.
right now it's Revelation.
Yeah. Okay, so there's opera singer. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you what it does until if you look at it afterwards. But basically, EMP bonus damage versus robot's critical kill dismemberment. Okay, so it will sort of act like bloody mess, I guess. Right? That's what the special
okay.
is for the opera singer. And so if we talk to him
What's the
again,
haps?
okay, we'll
Right on,
recalibrate it
baby.
again.
Let's spin some grooves.
Yeah, okay. And now it's the opera singer, so we'll go Gabriel's Bark. And Gabriel's Bark gives us critical strike knockback, right?
Okay, kind of like a shotgun.
I suppose, yeah. And then,
What's the haps?
okay, we'll do it
Right
again.
on, baby. Let's spin some grooves.
Yeah. So then we have Revelation. I think that's the one that I chose.
Yep,
After
it is.
looking at all of these. Critical strike paralysis. Okay. And then,
What's the haps?
okay, let's
Right on,
recalibrate it again.
Spin some grooves.
Okay. Robo Scorpion.
What I wouldn't give to be able to pick up radio news.
Okay. So critical strike explosion. Right?
Yep.
Vegas. What's the haps?
Okay, let's recalibrate
Right
the
on,
sonic emitter.
baby. Let's spin some grooves.
Okay, so we got one more to look at, and that's the tarantula. And even though I was running around with that installed for a while, I critical strike incendiary. Okay, so I guess it sets things on fire.
What's the haps?
So you know what? I'm going to go
Right
with
on, baby.
Revelation for the paralysis.
Spin some grooves.
or we could go with the Robo Scorpion to blow stuff up, right?
You could, yep.
Okay, let's do that. However, the weapon is still, basically
A sonic emitter.
a sonic emitter, and I have to refavorite it now again.
Diagonal's your favorite direction.
Yeah, well, no. Oh, that didn't work for some reason. Okay. Oh, there, it did work now. Weird. Okay. Alright. But anyway, as you can see, like it does 75 damage per shot, and basically it's a really slow fire rate. You can basically get 1 shot per second, right?
Yep.
So, anyway, the multi-class rifle, see, 41.2 times 3 for 126. So,
It's literally a shotgun.
yeah, it's literally a laser shotgun, right?
You had to have a mod for that in Fallout 4.
Yeah, you had to put a special muzzle attachment on in order to get that to work. And it also gave you more than 3 beams, though, too. I think it gave you like 7 or 8 beams.
Something like that. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
remember.
I don't remember either, but
But
anyway.
it was super duper wide.
Yeah. Well,
I know-
we fixed that
Yeah,
when
we
fixed
actually
shotguns.
adjusted that. Yeah.
Just set this on repeat while I go relieve my tank. No one will know.
Yeah, everybody will know now. Okay, so we've got 2 more quest things now in the never-ending quest thing. So we have to go to Signal Hills Transmitter and X22 Botanical Garden again. So where's our... Okay, quests. So, find samples for the biological research station.
Go fetch.
Yep.
Just like the last few episodes.
Yep. Yeah, it's all about the fetch quests.
Well, you know, I gotta say, fetch quests are better than certain other kinds of quests. At least you get to go places and kill shit.
Yep. And I'm sure that there'll be stuff to kill. Like there's stuff to kill right there.
Tough.
So I guess we'll get to try this thing out now and see what it looks like. Wow. Okay.
Kind of like that.
Whoop.
Oh, somebody shot you in the face.
Where's that guy? Where is he?
He's right on your right now, right?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Looks like this thing is total garbage at distance, though.
Well,
Right.
it's basically a shotgun, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's switch to this.
Get your 45-70 rounds blocked by the links in the fence. Alright?
Well, I actually haven't really seen something like that happen just yet. Where is this thing now? There it is. I should probably... Oh, okay. It looks like it is reloaded. He doesn't have anything too interesting. Gotta relearn all the buttons again now. Well, there you go. See, I profited by 3. Oh, did I somehow eat that guy already? There's pieces of him all over the place here, or
There's
what?
pieces of guys everywhere. Probably some of these guys are still left over.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, well, anyway.
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
Uh-oh.
Straight ahead on your right.
Attention, Big Mountain. There's a 95% chance of
Oh,
clear
okay.
skies interrupted with artillery fire.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, and then there's another guy.
You shoot him in the face, too. Wow. That looked pretty funny. his forehead was basically up against the end of the gun barrel, right?
Yep.
Hey, look at that. I just disarmed that guy. Uh-oh. Okay.
Fast reload.
Yeah.
What's all?
Yeah, it looks like it reloads kind of the same way that the lair does, right?
Would seem so, yep.
Yeah, did he have anything interesting? Not really. Yeah, runs right over, puts his forehead up against the muzzle of my gun, so all I gotta do is pull the trigger, right?
Maybe he thought it would block the bullet or something, right? Headbutt the end of the gun, it'll work.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems to work okay. I mean, you know.
Well, about as well as anything else. Everything out here is kind of tanky, though.
Yep. So, we got a set of steps down here, or something like that, or...
You've got a pipe.
Yeah, we'll just,
There, that works.
Well, kind of. I'll bet you I have to go back down here, though.
This one looks pretty tough.
Yeah, well, let's see how this thing works on robots, eh?
About as well as everything else. Like, it's not bad, actually. It's a bit better than a shotgun.
Wow, look at that. Turned it into a puddle of goo. Uh-oh, shit. Being shot at from this end now by 2 more of them.
And by,
being
in the
shot
back,
at
too, yep, by this guy.
Jeez, eh? Okay, well, you know what?
Yeah, that's a hunting revolver, too. That hurts a fair bit.
Okay, well, we'll take his ammunition.
Think tank. I wouldn't even use binary to describe my exponential hatred for you.
Wow. Okay, so then we also have this, right? Hey, does that use different ammunition than the other thing? It does. Right? Come on, you stupid thing. Oh yeah, right, it's this one. Oh no, it doesn't use, so it uses the same.
Not on your left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more effective damage-wise than the lair, but the lair fires faster.
Yeah. Well, we'll take the energy cells from the goo pile here. And maybe we'll... So this glowy thing around my head actually takes up the same body slot as the backpack. Right? That's why I'm not wearing the backpack right now.
Yep.
Because unfortunately, you can't have both.
You can't have head glowy thing or backpack. It's so it was written and so it was done.
That's right. Well, this game, like others by Bethesda, items that you can equip your character with all take up a slot, right?
Bad guys dealt with.
I think something just killed itself.
Something just kill itself?
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
Uh-oh.
See, what they could have done is they could have had like a rotating bucket system of miscellaneous equipment. So you could just equip miscellaneous equipment into general slots.
Yeah.
Bad guys
Actually, they
dealt
do. If you look in the creation kit for Skyrim or Fallout 4, for example, the way
They have like many miscellaneous slots.
yeah, they have a lot of miscellaneous slots that are not assigned to anything. They also have arm slots and leg slots and.
But the problem with the way that miscellaneous slots are implemented is that, yeah, they have a lot of miscellaneous slots that aren't assigned to anything, but the moment you assign something to it, then anything else assigned to it conflicts with that slot.
Yeah.
Whereas if they went with a rotating bucket system, right, like just a bucket of miscellaneous equipment, then you could have like miscellaneous equipment 0, 1, 2, 3, and just treat it all as the same slot and just keep sticking it in the empty buckets so long as you have empty buckets.
Well, I have no idea what the technical ins and outs of that would be, but it sounds reasonable to me.
You would call it an array.
They will shoot you with their robotic stingers, and then possibly explode.
We've been here before, and we already know that we can't go anywhere from here.
No, but there's apparently flashing icons that point sort of in this direction-ish.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I think I remember now. You needed to get on top of this. Remember?
Oh. Okay.
So you actually need to go back up.
Yeah, we need to go back up. We shouldn't have come down here to begin with.
Maybe you got to cross that metal beam above you or something. Not that one.
No,
Up.
I think there's actually a way around on the ground. Yeah, okay, because we got to go back toward the...
Yep. So, to see the metal beam on the right? Left?
Oh, okay.
You gotta cross that metal beam.
Yeah, alright. I can do that.
Uh-oh.
Oh. What do we got going on here? Okay.
Plants.
Hey, we can use a regular shotgun on these guys.
With your CS rounds. I don't even know what a CS round is.
Neither do I, but I'm going to use them.
I think you just shot that one off the cliff. I think you just
okay.
shot that one. No, that one got back up.
There. Maybe they'll suffer from negative acceleration trauma, right?
Or they'll just be chilling down there. I mean, you never know.
Seed package. Hey, I just took one of the... You were right. This is where I had to go. I had to get the seed package, right? And there it was, just laying here. Are those things still alive and down there? Could they have survived
they're still
the
on the
fall?
radar.
Could they have survived the fall? Oh, or is there another one over here?
Oh, you gotta cross that pipe on the left,
Yeah,
too.
okay. Well, let's just switch to this thing here.
You know, it seems to me like spore plant projectiles aren't particularly accurate.
Yeah, because I didn't even get hit once. Oh,
Hey, look, there's a landmine there.
yeah.
Fighting over.
The Cazador Preserve
there it
and the
is.
Night Stalker splicing facilities are strangely quiet. Too quiet.
Return the samples to the sink. Okay.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, where?
Maybe it's those things down there still noticing you again.
Oh, no. Look it. There's one right back there. Again. Oop. Maybe it climbed back up.
hostilities complete.
Right?
I still don't think it hit you, though.
No. Yeah, see, neither of those ones are alive. They fell down to the bottom of the cliff and died. Okay. What's in here? Oh, another one of those things.
I guess you could use it to repair yours if you ever needed to.
Yeah, maybe, hey. Oh yeah, apparel. Atomic, valence rate. Okay, this one is, a lesser version of it. See? It's only got one halo doohickey,
Okay.
right?
Is that how that works?
Well, this one's got multiple, and it has a higher damage threshold value, right?
And a higher value.
Yeah.
But maybe you could use the lesser one to repair that one.
Probably, yeah. That would be a reasonable assumption. Speaking of which, in order to repair the stealth suit, I don't know what kind of armor you have to have on you, so I'm guessing that I'm going to need to use, when the time comes, I'll need to use armor repair kits for that.
Yeah, your special armor repair kits.
Yeah. I've got lots of them anyway, so I'll save them for that. Because until I know, I don't know, maybe I'll have to look up in the wiki or something and see if there's a armor type that can be, because you can use, say,
Time to fight.
armor of the same type to repair. Oh wow, okay. Well, let's switch to this thing here again.
Well, that works. I guess layers are pretty accurate too, huh?
Yeah, well, these guys were pretty much sitting ducks too. Like they didn't really move much. But that's okay. I can make energy cells into more microfusion cells, so we'll keep collecting the energy cells. I still see.
Thinking done. Fighting now.
Uh-oh. Now what? Oh.
Bad guys dealt with.
Okay. Guess we have to keep going around the building until we come to the doors.
Yeah, what color pipes is What's Her Nuts say in the announcement that you shouldn't be running on?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember now either.
Probably the ones that have the mines on them.
No, you always gotta run on the ones that have the mines. All the time.
Okay, so here we go. We brought back seeds. What are we supposed to do with them now?
Give them to the seeds guy.
Oh, yeah, right. Biological research
You got some
station.
plans for me, don't you? Yeah, I can smell it all over you.
Okay. All right.
Ah, yeah, baby. Just slip it in there. All the way down in that dark, moist earth. Launching interface.
Ooh,
Excuse you and your root beer water.
yeah. Completed field research.
Do you like me?
Baby, don't believe a word that Sync says. She's all lies.
Wow.
Yeah, I guess you picked up a lot of shit.
I guess I did. Okay, I guess I'm good for food now.
You're good for most things at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I have to remember to check every now and then because I was like really, really hungry a while ago because I hadn't eaten any people in a while or drank
yeah.
any blood. I just kind of forgot.
Oh. Yeah, and you'll just kind of drop dead with this mod, right?
I don't know. Okay, what are we supposed to do now? We apparently don't have any other things left now except
Confront What's His Nuts.
confront Dr. Mobius, so I guess we'll go and do that.
Yeah, this means you get to go over to What's His Nuts' place and shoot him in the face, right?
Yeah. Or whatever passes for a face that he might have anyway. Who the
Probably
hell
a
knows?
monitor or something.
Uh-oh.
Everybody's got melee weapons. Better keep shooting.
There, if they're going to be that persistent about it.
But you blew him into chunks.
Oh, here comes another one.
Being smart, hiding behind the pipe there.
Yeah, what a smart guy.
You could just jump the pipe and shoot him in the face with your shotgun, you know.
Maybe I will.
Look at how well that worked.
Yeah.
Huh?
What did you have? You had a brush gun. Okay.
And yet more 45-70s.
Yep. Yeah, now that I've made a whole bunch, now I'm finding them everywhere, right?
That's okay though, because you kind of want lots of ammo for that gun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much my favorite, I think, of all the guns that I've found in this game so far. I have to say, I think I like that one the best.
You're a fan, are you?
Yeah. Well, there's also the fact that I took that perk where, like, it's to my advantage to use lever guns, too.
Yep.
Right? Okay, where were we before we were so rudely interrupted here?
Heading over to shoot Dr. Mobius in the face.
Yeah.
Or the monitor.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not even really too sure what Dr. Mobius looks like at this point.
I'd assume he looks like the other, what the hell you call them.
You never know, though.
This
He might
one
not.
looks pretty tough.
Oh, more shooting people. See, I like this gun because I can, like, do stuff like shoot this guy in the face from a fair distance away, right? Except when weird things like that happen. That's
Yeah,
okay.
like when
I'll
he
just-
turns backwards.
Yeah, I'll just duck behind this rail car and wait for my AP to recover here, and then I'll go back out there and take
The
another
best way
stab
to
at
avoid
this.
getting shot in the head is to just turn away from the enemy and close your eyes.
Well, it worked for Donald Trump. Wow, I missed again. There.
Cessation of hostilities complete. We haven't
I don't
seen
know, was that
anybody in
was that a
while.
tasteless
Maybe
joke?
The monsters have stealth suits too.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Oh well. Anyway. Oh yeah, this is that one. I have to go down to the bottom of the canyon here in order to get to the door.
Yeah, you've got to go all the way down to the bottom, and then you've got to,
I got a shortcut right here. Oh,
This
there's
one
still
looks pretty
there's still
tough.
some robo scorpions left alive too. Man, oh man.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's switch back to this thing again.
Now, I wonder how well that shotgun would work on them.
Well, they're a little bit far away for shotgunning right now. Okay, let's try it out now. Come on, switch.
Dealt with.
Well, it seems to work pretty good.
Yeah, it seems to work all right. We'll just collect the energy cells here, and guess I'll have to have a blood pack because I kind of was getting hit by multiple of those things. That one had lots of energy as cells. So this stealth suit is supposed to give me big buffs to sneaking and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, but don't you already have max sneak?
Yeah, kind of.
So we're really just doing it so that you can hear voices in your head and not feel lonely.
Yeah, I suppose.
Ready, steady, fighty.
You could just go inside.
You know what? Let's kill the scorpions. Wow.
Looks like shooting them in the tail doesn't work very well, but shooting them in the face does.
Oh, hitting them with this axe works pretty well, too.
You know, the axe has a really high fire rate.
That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hit them a lot with the axe. Okay, we'll go in now.
Nope, it's gonna be like all like Fallout 4 style melee combat from now on.
Oh, that would be terrible. Okay, we saw a door that we needed to go through, right?
That's right, and it's you need to jump off this ledge,
Oh yeah, right.
and you need to go up there.
Yeah, it's up at the top of that set of stairs up there. Hey, did this thing have blah blah blah? I think I grabbed all this.
Oh, there's a
stuff.
valence radii, blah 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 blah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Another lesser one.
Yeah. Wonder what happens if you combine them. Maybe you can make a better one. If you've got two of them. Right? Maybe? Looks like I can use all kinds of things here to... Okay. So even when it's fully fixed up, it's still not as good as the one I'm using.
Oh well. It's something that you can use to repair the one you're using, apparently.
I guess so, yeah.
As well as sunglasses can apparently repair this thing. That must be from that perk of yours.
Yeah.
Are you getting confused on your weapon hotkeys?
Sure,
Use Dragon's Breath. Dragon's Breath on the shotgun.
Okay, sure.
No fucking idea if that'll work.
Well, I don't know. I guess that depends on what kind of physical form Dr. Mobius has. Okay, here we go. Door to the Forbidden Zone Dome. Okay. Wow. Okay,
Do
so
you
it looks
like
like
me?
there's stairs going up.
This looks kind of like a lab area.
Yeah, it looks kind of like, oh, that's Dr. Mobius.
That's Dr. Mobius.
Yeah, okay. So he looks kind of like the other ones do. We go talk to him?
Sure.
I'm going to use pulse slugs.
Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing, you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV coon? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Okay.
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Yeah, sure.
I love mentats, delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not really giving me a supervillain vibe here.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Okay, why did you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. The anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
Okay. Oh, look, I can do that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there, and the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Okay. Well, you don't seem aggressive. Let's ask that question.
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung.
This guy's a stoner.
Yep.
As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Okay.
I find things curious as well. Go on.
Well, what can you tell me about the Robo-Scorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger. Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts.
Okay.
Did I? Maybe I did. Can't have them leaving. Is some reason for it? Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Huh. Well, okay.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overwrote the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You reprogram their names?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Okay. Why?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan C's in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. Probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan Bs, in case the A's fail.
Klein, Mobius, zeros, a circle. Okay, they're all loops. Okay.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quiet professional.
You know what? I'm starting to get the idea that maybe he's trying to prevent those other ones from being unleashed on the world. Maybe?
Or some such.
That's what this whole thing is all about.
Really? It is so unlikely to make an error in anything I do.
Okay. Why send the Robo-Scorpion army against the think tank?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason.
And he created
That
them?
I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, Then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
There were other visitors, though. Why am I different?
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
Huh.
Okay.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats ingest you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal. And yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem. And the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial cells into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Okay. Klein said they had the idea to get the 3 technologies after your broadcast.
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So
Herbal
watch
tea.
it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
Okay. But they downloaded the schematics.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Was there any other data?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
Okay. What is the purpose of the
The
technologies?
X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit? Why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs saw these things. They had them
The Wizard
all
of
the
Oz?
time in the story.
God.
Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either.
Okay. Well, I guess now.
Yes, this is getting interesting. You are just filled with these little slices of curiosity, aren't you?
Okay.
If you go to the, why did you steal my brain dialogue, I think there was another set of options
A
there.
variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly?
Because there was an
You're
option to say
really
that you
quite
needed your brain
special,
back.
And
Yeah.
not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Exactly. I want my brain so I can leave.
Now, that seems to be rather hormonal of you. Flight or fight response, you know. Hard to cut that out completely. Your brain is here, safe with me. We chat over mentats.
Yeah, well, I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you
Oh,
should respect its wishes.
Okay. Retrieve your brain from the Forbidden Zone.
Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat, then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Okay. So where's my brain?
I do so love
Up that way.
integers.
There's a door up there. Is it in there, or is it... Whoa. Okay.
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Why does my brain sound...
Well, as to that, you'd be surprised how hard a feminine-sounding voice modulator is to find in the Forbidden Zone. It's not as though brain-sustaining life support tanks grow on trees. I had to take what I could get.
Okay.
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Huh. Yeah.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
Yes, because... yeah.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Okay.
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Oh, come on, that stuff's fun.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Okay. Don't you want to be reunited?
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But what about the good things? What else can I say? Okay.
Overrated biological feedback. Believe me, you only feel that way because you've got all that meat. Oozing hormones.
Okay, I can do a speech check.
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
Okay. All right.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
Okay. So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why, they promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Okay. You're a part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. What do you think? Should I take the brain with me or leave it here?
Take it with you.
Okay.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
Okay. Alright, well, let's go. Somehow, like I said, Mobius doesn't seem like the supervillain that he was made out to be, right?
So I guess you gotta go to the Sync autodock and get your other parts too, huh?
Yep. It looks that way.
Yeah, I guess he went from supervillain to morally questionable.
Well,
but that's kind of how all these mad scientist types are.
Yeah, he also kind of seemed more like a doddering old man, right?
Yep.
You know? So, now that we've sort of had a peaceful resolution with Mobius, does this mean he's still going to have his robo-scorpions out here, or am I going to get a moment's peace?
I guess you're going to have a moment's peace.
Yeah. See, it
At
seems,
least until you run into some more lobotomites, anyways.
yeah, it seems to me like this whole thing was basically all about Mobius preventing these mad scientists from being loosed on the world, right? Where they would probably cause all sorts of mayhem and death and destruction.
Apparently.
Sneaking done. Fighting now.
Okay, well, what are we fighting with? Don't see
Fighting
anybody.
over.
Okay. Fighting over. We'll get this handy. It's a bit better for long range type stuff. Okay. Because we gotta go... Where?
Sync autodock. There's an autodock.
The commies have eyes everywhere,
Left?
citizen.
Yeah, here we go.
You require some additional services?
Yeah, I'd like to engage your
Rightly
services.
so, I should think. All right, then. Let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Swap body parts? Is that what we have to do?
I have no idea what you're supposed to do here.
Okay. What happens if we pick basic physical exam?
Means they're not just comics. They're peeping toms.
Oh, okay.
I guess that would cure your
You
diseases.
require some additional services?
Yeah.
And rightly so, I should think. All right, then. Let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Alright. I think you gotta do, because it looks like we could do everything here from change our look to haircut to... This must be it. Okay. What about my brain? Your heart is back in your body, but some advanced technologies... Robots are only somewhat confused by you. On the bright side, healing chems are... Okay.
Do you like me?
Okay.
You require some additional services?
Yeah.
And rightly
Spine
so,
back in
I should
body.
think. All right, then. Let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Okay, so I guess we gotta swap body parts again, right?
Yep.
Okay. Reattach
Spine.
spine. Advanced technology, your voice can now be crippled again, but your strength, damage threshold, and bonuses have doubled. Okay. Alright. So we did that part. Now what are we supposed to do? Confront Dr. Klein.
You require some additional services?
Oh, okay. I guess I must have my brain already,
Rightly
right?
so, I should think. All right, then. Let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Or at least you're carrying it around with you. I don't know. I think they have the technology to re-implant it, don't they?
I don't know. Okay, well, it would appear that we have to go here now, right? Yeah. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all.
I guess this is a notice that you should save here.
Yeah, maybe, hey. We'll save. How about that? Well, look, I just got an autosave too. Okay. What now? I'm not sure I like the idea of stepping on that.
Then don't step on that.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. You and I are going to
I
settle
recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
My skull hauls Okay, sure.
That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Yeah, sure.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
Okay. There.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
Huh. Okay. Well. I will permit them to do what?
I don't know.
Okay.
A fight? I've never been in a fight. What do I... Ah! Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert! We are under attack!
Sneaking
Okay.
done. Fighting now.
Okay. I guess
You're
we
taking the shooty shoot way out.
I guess we shoot them now. Weapon? Chassis?
I think you want to aim at the chassis.
Yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, you still have those pulse slugs, don't you?
Yeah.
They're pretty handy.
If we scare it, maybe it'll...
Bad guys dealt with.
Okay. So that's it? That's it, that's all?
I guess so.
Now I've got two things going on here. Again. Leave the think tank. Okay.
I guess there's two exits to the think tank.
Is
So
there two exits?
probably one is back to the sink, and then the other one is out. Out.
Okay, well, you know what? That was not really as hard as I thought it would be. Okay.
Yes, I guess you could grab your shit out of the sink.
As it
Yeah.
had been in the
Oh,
years
or maybe
before
not.
the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discovery safe until they were needed to help others, which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him over much. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese
Oh,
paperclip,
fuck.
and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy, except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored told by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Okay. Your brain is back in your body, but some of the attached technologies remain. Your Head still cannot be crippled, and you are only 10% more resistant to addiction now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%.
Wow.
You've acquired Big Mountain Transporter. It's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave Wasteland and the Big Empty. To return to the Mojave or to go back to the Big Empty from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder. As you would any weapon, pull the trigger and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or combat situations and is totally incapable of harming your enemies. Okay.
Well, everybody's happy that you got your brain back.
Yeah. Whoop. Well, you know what? It certainly took a long time to play through this DLC. I think it was the longest of them all, actually.
There was a lot of stuff to do in this DLC.
Yeah. It was surprising, too. I was talking to the Sweater Vest Gamer earlier today and telling him about my progress through this. And he says, I didn't think there was that much to do there. It's like, well, yeah, if you even just... All I did was I just followed through the quest line. I didn't even go out of my way to look for things. You know, like... You know,
well, I guess, yeah, because you found some other locations, too. Like, you haven't even discovered all locations in here yet.
No,
you still had one or two dark ones.
Yeah, like, there was still a couple of triangles that needed to be filled in, right?
Yep.
But anyway, I've had nearly enough of this place now. And actually, you know, we're getting close to the end of this particular series, I think, because... according to this, let's see your stats, yeah. According to this, I can no longer gain levels.
Yep.
Right? I've reached max XP. So, you know, really there isn't really that much more I can do with this character anyway. I can no longer advance.
Yeah, you can only complete the quests and carry on.
Yep. And there aren't that many left to complete, right? Yeah, so for quests now, we've got the house always wins, or, right, from the wipe out the Brotherhood of Steel, or kill or disable Mr. House. And then this is that other Brotherhood of Steel side quest thing, right?
Yeah, they still want you to go and do their fetch quest bullshit.
Well, you know what? If I decide to kill Mr. House, I might be able to go back and do their fetch quest thing.
True.
Eventually. But anyway, I guess those kinds of things can be decided next time.
Indeed.
So, until then...
I'm RecB5.
And I am Sandman99.
Have a good one.